Is anybody out there?
Marc Radcliffe. 1FM. Oh, yes.
Right, so what's cult film of the week then? Or do you want to tell us some new films that are out this week?
No, let me tell you what cult film of the week is, because I've been sort of chomping at the bit to this. Finally, we're going to do The Sound of Music, and I make no apologies for it because it's the 30th anniversary, and it's a real good excuse. And, everyone has seen The Sound of Music, and people claim they hate it, but they don't.
It's funny, one of the kids from The Sound of Music was on Peppermill at 1 with Alan Pitchfork today.
I take it's the kid from The Sound of Music who went on to be Spider-Man.
No, it was the woman. It was the woman who went on to be Michael Jackson's interior designer, and it was fantastic because this was Peppermill at 1. She used to be the interior designer for Michael Jackson. At that point, they flashed up a photograph of Michael Jackson, just in case you didn't know, what Michael Jackson looked.
Or his interior design.
It's good, that Alan Pitchfork. I like him. Anyway, right, Sound of Music. That's not a cult film, is it? That's just a load of crap, middle of the road entertainment. That's cheesy.
You're just saying that to work me up. Of course, it's a cult movie. Everyone sees it a million times. Everyone knows all the lines off by heart. Everyone sings along, and everyone sits down at Christmas. Everyone says, "Oh, I'm not going to watch." Oh, I just no. Wait till that next scene. The movie is 176 minutes long, and everyone stays to the end. Right, of course, it's a cult movie.
It's a cult. Do you think it's a cult movie, Mark?
I left before the end. I don't know.
Radio 1 live from Manchester. Mark Kermode is with us for Cult Film Corner and The Sound of Music, which, whatever you say, will cause raised eyebrows, I'm sure.
Okay, the definition of a cult movie is a movie which a large proportion of the audience see the film again and again and again. What they enjoy about it is the repetition and knowing it. They know the lines, they know the songs, they know the routines. The fact is, no matter what anybody says about The Sound of Music, and it's very hip and fashionable to say, oh yeah, it's cheesy and it's rubbish. It's not. And whenever it comes on it is, but it's not. Whenever it comes on at Christmas, you start watching it on the television, I guarantee you'll find out 3 hours later you are still going to be there at the end.
3 hours later?
It's a 172-minute film. This is not a short movie. So, some background, if you've been living on Mars for the last few years.
I think it even goes out on Mars, The Sound of Music.
Okay, made in 1965, won a brace of Oscars, including the Best Picture, directed by Robert Wise from the Rodgers and Hammerstein musical, although originally based on a true story of the Von Trapp family. This is one of those things like Cabaret. It's a musical on one hand, but it's also an anti-Nazi story. The story is the Von Trapp family learn to get on with each other by the arrival of the wonderful Julie Andrews, who is a singing nun. She turns up at the Von Trapp family, where their father, played by Christopher Plummer, is running the whole family like a regimental household. She breaks down his resistances. One of the girls is having an affair with a Nazi. In the end, they go and win a singing competition and escape to freedom. Okay, now that's 3 hours of plot condensed, I'm afraid.
Yeah.
At the time that they made the movie, Fox was in a bit of a state because they'd made Cleopatra, which is always cited as the biggest movie money loser of all time.
Right.
I think probably now with figures change for inflation, that's probably not the case. And they had a choice. They could either make sort of 3 movies that would or wouldn't work, or they could dump all their money into The Sound of Music, and which is what they did. They dumped all their money into The Sound of Music. They banked on it, and the movie worked. It was an absolutely enormous hit. Just sort of glancing, it's its 30th anniversary now, which is why there's been so much fuss about it. It's being re-released. Just glancing down the songs in the movie: Maria, Confidence, You Are 16, which everybody knows all the words to. My favourite things, which we're going to have a little sort of snippet of in a moment.
Yeah.
The Lonely Goatherd, which Danny Baker has made an entire career out of, doing that gag about, can you remember what all the rhymes out of The Lonely Goatherd are? Because everyone can remember the first 3. People complain about Julie Andrews and say, oh, well, her performance in it is sugary sweet. And also everybody sniggers muchly, as Lard was just doing, incidentally.
Yeah.
About the fact that Julie Andrews, later on in her career, in a movie that Blake Edwards made called S.O.B., went topless in a movie for the first time. She spent her whole career trying to live down the success of The Sound of Music.
Well, that's what he was saying. He was threatening getting typecast as being the sort of innocent on this programme, and was going to get his testicles out in a couple of weeks' time.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And he spent his whole career trying to live this programme down.
Well, I don't know. He's had his testicles out for most of his life.
But, my feeling about Julie Andrews doing it is why try and live this down? It was, it's an incredibly good movie that it works on its own terms. I just want to read you this. This is from an article by Richard Dyer. Richard Dyer, very, very sort of highbrow film critic. Okay, people can enjoy Sound of Music you can enjoy it for the dancing and for the singing and for the story and for those kids dressed up in those horrible
lime green curtain outfits.
That's right. Yes, she makes them little romper suits out of lime green curtains. You can enjoy it for the fact that it's got a love story between between a young girl and a Nazi, in which she has to choose between her love for him and his affiliation with an extreme right-wing party.
Yeah.
This is Richard Dyer's assessment of the movie. I love this. I'm just going to read you this is just 3 sentences. My argument is that in the case of The Sound of Music, the film sets up a human but also specifically female problem and solutions to them that by implication run counter to the interests and hence ideology of the dominant groups. The film attempts to recoup this through various narrative and musical procedures, not through the conscious or conspiratorial intervention of the ruling groups, but because it is always more comfortable to fit in with the dominant ideology. Entertainment always seeks a point of comfort, whatever its point of it seems likely that this pattern is very typical of Hollywood cinema and perhaps especially of its supremely successful films.
I remember thinking that when I went to see it, aged 5.5 or whatever it was. Right, so that's the Critics' Forum. I think we should have a bit of one of the songs, shall we?
Yeah, I think what we'll do is we're going to play you this clip. This leads, and we're actually not going to play the song because I'm going to play the clip beforehand. Here's the scene, okay?
Right.
They're in the house. It's night time. Julie Andrews is in bed. The thunder has started outside, and the kids, one by one, are running into the room to jump into her bed, into Maria's bed, to be comforted. Now what's happened is she's just been joined on the bed by the boys.
Right.
Why does it do that?
Well, the lightning says something to the thunder, and the thunder answers back.
The lightning must be nasty.
Not really.
Why does the thunder get so angry? It makes me want to cry.
Well, now, when anything bothers me and I'm feeling unhappy, I just try and think of nice things.
What kind of things?
Oh, well, let me see. Nice things. Daffodils. Green meadows. Skies full of stars. Raindrops on roses. And whiskers on kittens, bright copper kettles and warm woolen mittens, brown paper packages tied up with strings. These are a few of my favorite things.
Get to bed! Competition time!
Today's question is, I'm going to give you a clue so it's easier than it sounds, is get from The Sound of Music to The Exorcist in 2 moves, okay? The first move is very simple, okay? Julie Andrews was married to Blake Edwards. How do you get from Blake Edwards to The Exorcist in 1 move? Send in your answers. Do you know this?
No.
But you were doing that kind of, it's so easy, even he knows it face.
No, I've had 3 of those this year. That's
okay.
That's a good result for
Send
me.
in your answers on a postcard to Scrawn Don't Know.
Scrawn don't know because he is thick when it comes to film. Radio 1, Oxford Road, Manchester M60. What?
Now? Can I run you that question once more because I'm so proud of it?
Yeah, go on then.
Okay, get from The Sound of Music to The Exorcist in 2 moves. The first move is Julie Andrews and Blake Edwards. Get from Blake Edwards to The Exorcist in 1 move.
Do you know it?
Not a clue.
All right. And you say you've seen the new James Bond film?
Yeah.
Any good?
Competition time!
Last week's competition was to win copies of The Sound of Music, and I had a lot of very derisory mail, incidentally, from people saying Sound of Music isn't a cult movie, saying The Sound of Music isn't a good movie, come to that. And, to the lot of you.
That's told them.
But enough correct answers. Thank you very much. 2 box set, fantastic Sound of Music, fabulous. The question was, Sound of Music stars Julie Andrews, get from Julie Andrews to The Exorcist in 2 moves. The answer, of course, I don't know whether it's 2 moves, is Julie Andrews is married to Blake Edwards.
Yeah.
Blake Edwards made Shot in the Dark, What Did You Do in the War, Daddy, those things, which are all co-written by William Peter Blatty, who wrote The Exorcist.
Tricky.
Dead easy.
Dead easy, that, wasn't it? Dead easy,
You
that.
didn't know.
I have a clue.
So, out of the top of the pack, congratulations to Angela Speck from London and to Patrick Considine from Kenton. Patrick Considine, don't start me on this again. Patrick Considine.
Right. Okay.
And those congratulations to both of you who'll be winning box sets of The Sound of Music, and it's absolutely fab and great. And can I just very quickly, this was from Gavin Watkins, who wrote in to say, I want to know how you were partially responsible for getting the director's cut of Dust Devil to the screens. It was just simply, the short version of this is, Richard Stanley made this movie, Dust Devil. It was great in the 2-hour version. The distributors wanted to cut it down to a 90-minute version, and I wrote a very stroppy article about it in a magazine called Sight and Sound, and they changed their mind.
There you go.
That's the short version.
All right then, fine.
Mark Radcliffe, missing you already.